All right, hey everybody. Today we're going to take a sketch and we're going to turn it into an illustrator character. So in this particular assignment for GMMD 331, we'll if you don't want to make your own character, that's totally fine. If you want to find something online, go ahead and use that. If you want to draw your own character, that's cool too. So I did this very silly, quick portrait of myself, and I'm going to turn it into, hopefully it should look a little something like this. It's going to look a little something like this. Yeah, there we go. And using these custom brushes over here. So it's pretty easy. There's just a couple little things to do, and it should be pretty quick. Let's dive right in there and see how to do it. So we'll create a new page in Illustrator. I think what I did was 13 by 8. I did this not on paper, which I actually usually like to draw on, but I did it super fast in Photoshop. So with Photoshop, I'm just gonna select everything and then select all the layers combined. So that's Control-Shift-C. Then I'm going to go over to Illustrator and just paste that right there. So to start out with, I am going to make a new layer, and I'm going to put that underneath our reference layer. And then I'm going to make sure our reference layer is targeted. I'm going to change the blending mode to multiply so that just the black is showing through. I'm going to change the opacity down just a little bit, like that. And then I'm going to lock that reference layer and target our new layer. Then what I'll do is I'm going to change the fill color to black, make sure that the stroke color is set to nothing, and I'm going to start making some custom brushes. So I made a lot of different brushes here just for the hell of it to see if they could be useful. So my first brush, and they're pretty small, my first brush was about that size. And then I just went into the selection mode, and then I duplicated it. I think it was this many times. I don't remember how many times it was. It's all a big blur. And then I just grab these guys, bring those in there. I grab the two middle ones, move and hold shift down and do that. Then I'm going to delete this one, bring this one down, reflect it, double click on reflect, vertical, preview, no copy, just that. Then I'll select this one, anchor mode. I'm going to move this one up so that it connects to the top. Click on that one, move, hold shift down so it connects with that top, and move that, and just like so. Now what that one is it'll just be like the straight line one, so it just there's no getting small or anything like that. Then I had some other ones. What other ones did I have? I don't remember. Oh yeah, I had this this edge that looked like that. We'll see if that can be useful. It may not. Who knows. So for that, actually, I'm just going to get rid of these guys, and I'm going to bring both of these guys down. Make sure you go into the selection mode, bring these guys down here, select one, go in direct selection, and then this one, what did I do here? Yes, I clicked on, added a new anchor point, and then I selected this one, went into the pen mode, held down Alt and clicked once so that I create a hard anchor, and then make sure that it's intersecting this one and this one, and I select that one. That's a Bezier curve, so I hold down Alt and click once to turn it into a hard anchor and make sure that that's connected there. And of course I don't need this one. I'm just gonna flip that, reflect that. So those are the ones that I'm going to have. I may or may not use all of these guys. So I'll just go by one and put this in here. I put it into the brush panel. I select art brush. Okay. I go to colorization is to tints. And then I click OK. Grab this one. Put it in there. Art brush. OK. Method. Tints. OK. There. Art brush. OK. Colorization. Tints. That. Art brush. OK. Colorization. Tints. Stretch to fit stroke length is on all of them. And then colorization. Tints. All right. So those are my brushes. So we'll see how this goes. So there's some really fast things that you can do in this. The main thing that I want you to get is, like I've said to a lot of students, is let Illustrator do the work for you, so that you have the nice lines, and Illustrator does these nice lines, and you don't have to push it, you don't have to force it. It just kind of naturally happens. Illustrator will kind of influence how your style is going to look, anyways. All right, so let's get in here. And then there's also ways of connecting all these pieces together. So we have our brushes. We can go over there. To start with, I'm going to just use this brush here, the middle one, which doesn't have like a spiky end to any of them. And I'm just going to draw the whole thing. I'm going to start out and see what it looks like. All right, so that's a little big. Maybe I'll go down to 0.5, and then we can fix those up as we go along. So remember, if you don't like how a brush looks, you can press Control Z and you can start again. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to go over lines. And the reason that we're doing this is because when we're finished with it, we can then use the shape builder, and we can remove all those extra pieces, and we get some really nice connections so that we don't have to futz with it for a really long time. I'm going to zoom into the face a little. And then once we finish a lot of these lines, we'll determine which brush we really like. Afterward. And remember, you can change the how much Illustrator will adhere to your drawing. So if I double click on the brush pen, you can see that I have it mostly set to smooth, to the highest form of smooth, so that it uses as few anchors as possible. I would only do either fully to the right with smooth, or I'd do it second to the end. And I'm holding down space and clicking on the screen. And let's go along here. Sometimes I don't think this is set up for right-handed people. It's all right. So some of these you'll notice have these nice little pointy lines, and some of them don't. Some of them are like this over here, and I've never really known exactly why this is, but you can finagle this to work better to the way that you want it. Often I find I have to go into the to smooth these guys out, and then I go over here, and then if I go over here I can make it bring that that point back. So I click on that one, I hold down Alt, and then I smooth it, bring this handle over there, and bring this handle back. And then in order to get the kind of line that I want this to want it to be a believable line. I have to move these guys out. So if it's too acute, it may be the issue that there we go. Alright, so now I have that looking the way I want it. Okay. So let's try out some different looks here. Oh, that's kind of cool. Kind of goes really small there at the end. Really thick at the bottom. Let's look at some of these others. Oh, wrong direction, so I'm going to switch that direction over there. This one looks pretty good. I may bring this one up there. Now some of these I may want to make even thicker. So let's see which ones would look good thick. Usually the body lines I like to make a little thicker. So I'll go into stroke, too thick. That looks cool. Maybe a little bit on the big side. What happens if I switch that brush? Oh, I kind of like that better. Make that one a little thicker. Okay, so now we have the basic idea of what he's going to look like. Put my pen away, save the thing. And then we're going to select all this stuff, and we're going to keep it live, as Draplin says, and we're going to hold Alt, and we're going to duplicate it down here so that we have it so that it's not totally destroyed if something absolutely horrible happens. Then I select all these guys, and assuming that I have it all set up, I'm going to go to Expand Appearance and Expand. Alright, so everything should be expanded. I'll go to my Shape Builder tool, and I'm going to go in here and find the areas that I want to remove. So, and I hold down Alt, and remove that, remove that. Ooh, I don't like it that that's not touching. We can fix that. Cool, looking good so far. So here you're getting some exactitude without getting a headache. You have to zoom in on that one. There we go. And that should be it so far. Alright, looking cute. Let's grab this, go into the anchor mode, and notice, look at those nice, very well spaced out anchor points. Obviously too much down here, but that's because those guys are connected. So that'll help to keep things smooth. I'm just going to grab this and bring it in here. Go over here. These guys are a little bit messed up. So I'm going to go into my pen tool and remove those guys. Oh. Right, that's better. Anything else that needs fixing? Oh, there's some wacky stuff there. What happened there? This one obviously had some problems. So I'm just removing all these anchors. Oop. Let's click on that one. Let's make it rounded. And let's bring it back to what I think it was supposed to be. So remember to have Illustrator do the work for you. I think I've said that many times. So we can spend a lot of time fixing these guys up because there's way too many anchors on there. Oop, we got another issue over there, although I'm going to fix that up. I'm going to add an anchor. And then I'm going to smooth these guys out. Click on that one. Smooth it out. Alright. Now it's looking the way I want it to. But there's these two that I want to fix up. So I select that one. And I select these guys. And then I go into my shape builder. I remove that one. And I remove that one. Okay, looking good. Of course, I would say that about myself. So then I remove the reference layer. So now we have a really nice, clean little cartoon character. So here is what we're going to do, like what we did with the fisherman. Now there's some other things that we can do. There's the live paint, which I don't use a whole lot, but let's see if we can make something happen here. Let's choose a color. So what I did was I selected everything, and then I went to live paint, which is in the shape builder. And now the reason why this is working, and you can see that it's now that I'm moving around inside of these things, it's highlighting the inside. What it did is it automatically turned it into a live paint object, which means you can instantly add colors to it. So when we want to expand it later, we'll have to I think expand it and then ungroup it. So I'm just doing a basic color to this guy, and then I'll do some hair. And now the other thing is we can't do this part because it's not enclosed. So live paint only works if you have something really enclosed. So unless you want to change all of your style around to be enclosed, which is not a bad style to have. Some of my style though doesn't have enclosed shapes. But a lot of times I have to enclose them in order to fill them properly. So for this, we just have to go back to our regular old pen tool, and we go over here. Can't see through that, so remember you can do all those changes when you're in the middle of making a path. You don't have to undo your path or end your path. Alright, so we have that set. Now if I switch this to multiply, I don't even have to worry about the layers. It's just automatically put it right in there. And so I have the shirt. I want to give him a bright shirt though. Let's give him a bright shirt, like kind of like what I'm wearing. There. So we can also do some gradations. See, we have it still set in the live paint mode. So it says release. So we don't want to do release because that'll undo everything. So we want to expand that in live paint. And then let's try expanding it again. Okay, let's try ungrouping it then. There we go. All right. So this one, I could do a gradient on it. Edit the gradient. And then let's change the color. All right. So now we have our little character. So, like we did with the fisherman character, let's add some lighting effects. So here, if we presume that the lighting is coming straight down from over here, we might have some shadows under there. We might have some highlights on the nose, a shadow underneath the chin, and maybe a little shadow going along kind of the back of the neck kind of thing. All right, and maybe some highlights over here on the shoulder. So with that, remember that we have we use white, and then we also use black. And so white, when we're going to put that on there, we're going to do we're going to use overlay, in which we don't even need to worry about where it's placed. Overlay is going to see the black and it's going to ignore it. And then if we're using the white and it's going to ignore it, that's the highlight. So overlay is for the highlight, multiply is for the dark, and then we're not going to affect the black. So I'll show you what I mean, which should be a little bit easier. Make sure we're deselected. White is our highlight color, but I'm going to go to do the shadow first. So with this one, I can just, we're going to do this. I'll go here. So we have that one. Let's make it a little bit lighter. And then let's fix up these anchor points. Okay, so there we go. Now we have it all connected in there, so the way to fix this is to use the shape builder. Uh-oh, that's not good. Okay, so we do need to switch that around, and we're going to put that one underneath a layer. So we want to put it underneath the hair layer. I wasn't sure if that was going to happen. Bringing it backward. So too far. And we want our hair to go above it. So there we go. All right, so now we have, I put the shadow layer behind the hair and on top of the face. And this guy we can also do multiply like that. And then we can do some shadows. What kinds of shadows can we do? Let's do it underneath the neck. Can't see. Okay. So there's that guy. Let's make it black. Let's change that to multiply. And then let's click on this guy and make it lighter. So there's some more shadows. Let's do a shadow behind the ear. Multiply and bring that down, and there's a shadow behind his neck. And then we can do a small one under the nose. Okay, a large one. I know I don't have a small nose. Pen. Multiply, opacity, and maybe we can do one under the glasses. There. select these guys, change them to multiply. I don't like that shadow path, so I'm going to fix that up a little. Much better. All right, we got that, and now all we have left to do is do the highlights. So we're going to change our color into white, and let's give him a little highlight on the nose. Looks like I'm pretending to be a lifeguard. So now you'll notice that it's over the outlines. So if we go to overlay, it will appear as though it's behind it. Of course, I don't like the curve there, so that's better. And then I'll change the opacity much lower, and it looks like that. So a little better. Maybe we'll give some on his chin. Change to overlay, opacity down low, and then we can do one over here. And overlay. And then we'll do another one, the last one, right over here. Overlay, opacity. All right, so there we are. There's our little character, and it didn't take hardly any time at all. Just took about 30 minutes to make this guy. Of course, I had to draw him first, so it's pretty simple. Just remember these little techniques, and you should be well on your way to making some cool-looking cartoon characters. So thanks for watching.